let's start the discovery. So first, Combs gained attention a century ago with its followers active worldwide before the First World War. Latin America, England, the United States, India, Turkey were among the countries where Combs' influence was felt. However, the Russian Revolution led to the decline of positive polity, and Comtean positivism was replaced immediately with neo-positivism in philosophy of science. Post-positivism, a form of post-neo-positivism, has also lost its relevance, sadly, because of the criticisms directed at Carnap's neo-positivism, who actually forget Comte. Comte, who coined the exact term. So let's also discuss Comte's positivism as political philosophy rather than a philosophy of science. As seen in his seminal work, Plan for the Scientific Work Necessary to Reorganize Society, the goal is to reorganize society with science playing a central role. From 1847, positivism is placed under the continuous dominance of the heart with the motto order and progress, but becoming love as principle and order as basis. The course of positive philosophy remains Comte's major contribution, but the interpretation of his work faces two problems: whether the first and second careers form a continuum, or whether Comte's relationship with Saint Simon should be followed. And lastly, to understand Comte's philosophy, a chronological approach is recommended, starting with Saint Simonian period early writings, followed by the course of positive philosophy and system of positive polity, which will be discussed later.
So let's proceed to Auguste Comte's life. Auguste Comte was a prominent French philosopher and political thinker. He was known as the father of sociology. Comte was born in Montpellier on January 20, 1798. During 1814, he ranked fourth on the admission list of the École Polytechnique in Paris. Then 1817, he met Henri de Saint-Simon, who appointed him as his secretary to replace Augustin Thierry. So, Henri de Saint-Simon is actually a significant person to Comte, because he was the one who influenced Comte. In 1826, he began teaching the course of positive philosophy. Then he married Caroline Masson, then died on September 5, 1857. Formative years, the collaboration with Saint-Simon and the early writings. Auguste Comte's formative years were dominated by his relationship with Saint-Simon. So, who is Saint-Simon and what is his relationship with Comte? Henri de Saint-Simon was a French thinker and one of the early founders of socialism. He believed that society should be organized around the needs of everyone, not just the rich or powerful. Their relationship is more unlike mentor-student relationship. Saint-Simon is a significant influence on Comte's early thinking. Comte initially collaborated with Saint-Simon on social and philosophical ideas, but their relationship eventually soured. But before we talk about how the relationship ended, let's proceed to the ideas Comte took from Saint-Simon. There are three adopted ideas that he took from Saint-Simon. So the first one is the contrast of critical and organic periods in history. So what is critical period? Critical period are moments of sudden and big change, often due to specific events. This occurs during time of crisis. Like example, the fall of Berlin Wall during 1989, which quickly changed Germany and Europe. Next is an organic period. These are the times when changes happen slowly and naturally over time. An example ay yung Industrial Revolution kaya it involves slow technological and social changes that transformed economies over decades. Ang next idea is industrial society. Comte viewed industrial society as the highest stage of development, characterized by division of labor, where people specialize in different jobs, the use of scientific knowledge to solve problems, and laws that maintain social order and stability, leading to societal progress. Ang last nga idea nga gi-adapt niya is ang spiritual power. Auguste Comte believed that spiritual power should change from traditional religions to a focus on a religion of humanity. This means valuing human experiences and ethical behavior instead of relying on supernatural beings. So instead nga mag-follow sila religious rules, people might come together to promote kindness, help each other, and work on a common good like community service project that improve the lives of others. Comte thought this would create a stronger, more united society. The relationship between Auguste Comte and Saint-Simon soured due to intellectual and personal differences. Initially, Comte admired Saint-Simon, but over time, Comte became frustrated with what he saw as Saint-Simon's lack of systematic thought. Comte wanted a more rigorous scientific approach to social reform, while Saint-Simon focused on broader ideas. Additionally, personal disputes over recognition and authority led to their eventual falling out. That's the relationship end. Auguste Comte developed the law of three stages, which is the theological, metaphysical, positive. So this part will be discussed by Adeline.
So according to Comte, the evolution of human thought and society goes through three distinct phases. First, the theological stage. In this stage, explanation of the world are based on religious beliefs and supernatural forces. So people normally attribute events to divine will, and society is organized around religious institutions. Second, metaphysical stage. This phase represents a transition from theology to philosophy. So this means abstract concepts and ideas replace religious explanations, and people begin to see underlying principles governing the world, and thinkers focus on ideas rather than deities. And lastly, the positive stage, which is the final stage and characterized by a reliance on scientific reasoning and empirical evidence. Knowledge is derived from observation, experimentation, and logical analysis, and society becomes more organized around scientific principles, emphasizing rationality and progress. So, lastly, Comte argued that this progression reflects the maturation of human thought, ultimately leading to a more rational and scientifically informed society. We also have Comte friendship with Mill. Comte aimed to establish sociology as a distinct discipline, integrating scientific knowledge with social reform, and his work made a significant impact on contemporary thinkers such as John Stuart Mill, who initially admired Comte's ideas and saw them as a departure from Benthamite philosophy. Mill and Comte corresponded from 1841 to 1846, sharing philosophical insights. But their relationship evolved as Mill raised objections to some of Comte's views, particularly regarding biology and psychology. Disagreements also arose over social issues, including the status of women. Despite these conflicts, Mill acknowledged Comte's intellectual contributions while critiquing his later ideas, particularly the political implications of his philosophy. But ultimately, his friendship with Mill highlights the dynamic interplay and critique in philosophical discourse, shaping the trajectory of positivism and its influence in social science.
And complete positivism. So, positive polity is about organizing society based on scientific knowledge and reason. He believed that society should be guided by experts in science, not religion or abstract ideas. While positivism, Comte argued that knowledge should be based on empirical evidence and scientific methods. He believed that the self is shaped by social interactions and the environment rather than by physical introspection or metaphysical speculation. After Clotilde's death in 1846, positivism was transformed into complete positivism, which is continuous dominance of the heart. So if ang positivism alone can transform from science into philosophy, ang complete positivism can now transforms philosophy into religion. Religion centered on humanity, not on God. So the mind is the servant of the heart. He meant that the reason and intellect should be served human emotions. He believed that human behavior should be guided by love and care for others, and that the mind's purpose is to help fulfill these emotional and moral needs. We tire of thinking and even of acting, but we never tire of loving. Let's proceed to positive politics. It means focusing on governance and political systems that prioritize rationality, social order, and collective well-being of society. There are two main tenets of positive politics. First is there no society without government. Kant believed that a structured government is essential for maintaining social order and guiding societal progress. Without government, society would lack direction and stability. Next one is spiritual power independent of temporal power. Kant argued for a separation between spiritual leadership and temporal power. He thought that moral guidance based on science and human values should be independent of political authorities to ensure a balanced and just society. And for the next is Kant's religion of humanity. It is a belief system that centers on the well-being of people and society rather than on God. Kant defines religion as a state of complete harmony peculiar to human life. He also defines religion as a consensus, analogous to what health is for the body. So for ethics, Kant saw ethics as a system of moral principles that should be grounded in social needs. He emphasized altruism, the idea of putting others' well-being above personal gain, as the key to moral principle. He believed that ethical behavior should be contribute to the overall harmony and progress of society. While sociology, Kant is known as the father of sociology, diba? And he viewed as a tool to understand and improve society. He believed that by studying social structures and patterns, we could identify ways to promote social order, progress, and collective well-being. So, sociology and altruism was both coined by Kant.
We've reached the last part of our presentation. So in conclusion, Comte's vision linked science and society, emphasizing political reorganization as central to his philosophy. While he is rightly recognized as a major philosopher of science, his ideas are more aligned with sociologists like Marx and Tocqueville. Though Comte's philosophy of science has limitations, its value persists. His positive polity, however, is more problematic. Comte divided direct political action and criticized human rights, yet supported freedom of expression and valued spontaneity. His rejection of psychology raises concerns as well, transforming moral questions into engineering problems. But despite these weaknesses, Comte's theories on consensus and the future-oriented nature of his thought offer insights for contemporary issues, as he proposed that this time should be viewed as past, future, present, highlighting the importance of understanding our temporal context. A thorough assessment of Comte must also consider the contributions of his followers, which is a subject gaining renewed attention in recent scholarship.